Okay, B'siyata Dishmaya, we are here in the Shara Yichud, the gate of unity here in Tzfat, a place of love and dedication and Avodat Hashem. B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be learning today from the Baal Shem Tov, in Parashat Ekev. This was a Torah that I heard from my Rebbe, Rabbi. He gave it over on Sudah Shishid, and he hinted to me that it should be repeated for the masses. So, B'ezrat Hashem, I think the intention is that why Rabbi Yitzchak says it should be repeated. One, it's a powerful Torah from the Baal Shem Tov that can teach us a lot about everyday life. Two, all of us have been going through this on a certain level. And three, it prepares us a little bit more for what's coming up soon in our times, Elul, Rosh Hashanah, and what are our goals approaching these holy days. So, B'ezrat Hashem, the Torah is in Baal Shem Tov on the Torah. It's on Parashat Ekev. Parashat Ekev, we had a pasuk. This was last week we read in the Torah. We have a pasuk. Ve'ata, and now Israel. Ma Adonai Elohecha shoel me'imach ki im liyira et Adonai Elohecha lalechet bechol derachav la'ava oto la'avod et Hashem Elohecha bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha. What is Hashem asking of you? To walk, to have awe of Him, right? To walk in all of His ways with love for Him, to serve Hashem with all of your heart and with all of your soul. What is Hashem asking for you? A little bit of Yirat Shamayim. So we did a class on this in the Parasha class last week in the rest of teachings. Let's see what the Baal Shem Tov has to say on this pasuk. There was once a philosopher that asked a question. He says, since God is called Norah, Norah means like awesome, but like awe. Not wow, like awesome, right? Fear evoking, like causes fear in a person. God is Norah. If God is that, then why does the Torah give us a commandment to have awe of God? A king of flesh, human king, again, most of us don't even know what a king is, right? But a completely radical tyrant that has the ability to off the head with anybody, right? Because he's the king of the land. No one could tell him anything. He never makes a commandment to have awe of the king. He doesn't need to do that. You just walk around him, you're afraid for your life. One wrong look, one wrong word, you could be hung. And he doesn't have to command anybody to have awe of him. So why is God, that's called awesome, why does there need to be a commandment to command us to have awe of Him? It should be a natural outcome of just having the presence of God around you. This is a deep question, obviously, like all the questions, not all the questions, but a lot of the questions of the philosophers. But we'll see now how the Baal Shem Tov completely shoots it out the water and settles it in the most beautiful way. Baal Shem Tov explained, because the idea of ira, of awe of Hashem, is ira, yare min ha'eder. You're afraid of losing, of lack. You're afraid of what would happen if it doesn't happen. If what doesn't happen? Kavod, honor, osher, wealth, chaim in life, health, right? All these different things. We're scared to die. We're scared to be broke. We're scared to be embarrassed. What are all of those things? It's a lack of. We're scared of what happens if I lose out. What happens, right? Fear of missing out. What happens if I miss out? What happens if I lose money? What happens if I lose my health? What happens if I lose that person? We're always afraid of the loss, right? The lack. It's not the case. Once you lose that thing, there's no more fear. If a person's rich and he loses all his money, he's going to be afraid of losing his money? It's nothing to lose. I already lost it all. The person that dies, is he afraid of dying? I already did. There's nothing to be afraid of. Once the lack is clear and it's now lacking, the fear also goes away. Right? The person that lacks life can't be afraid of lack of life. They're called dead. They're already dead. They just don't have life. Same thing with wealth and health and so on and so forth. So these kinds of fears that we have, this level of fear, the fear of lack, this is what's called ira chitzonit, external awe. And every single creation, every single person, every being, every animal, everything in the world has this level of awe. External fears, right? The fear of losing, the fear of dying, the fear of getting sick, the fear of confrontation, fear of success, fear of failure, whatever it is, these are all external fears, that the whole world is filled up with these ideas and these fears. Parashat Ekev says, right, because the mouse is afraid of the cat is afraid of the dog is afraid of the wolf, and so on and so forth. This is the way of the world. Until it comes to humans, where you have one human being is afraid of another human being that's more powerful than him, that's wiser than him, that's more beautiful than him, whatever it might be. And above that, above all of these external fears, we have what's called ira pnimit, internal fear, internal awe. Awe of Hashem. So, if the whole entire world has these external fears, and then there's a higher fear than all of that, which is the awe of Hashem, the consciousness of the greatness of God and how powerful Hashem is, how much Hashem has done in this world, created it, keeps it in creation, sustains it, recreates it at all times, watching over every fine detail, leaves, butterflies, human beings, traffic, everything is aligned perfectly and divinely oriented. So if we have both, then what's the purpose of having both? Why is it that when I know I'm going to meet a king, I have a sense of fear? If the highest level and the most internal level of that is to have the fear of God. Meanwhile, I walk into a synagogue, or I open a book, or I go to a shiur of Torah, and I don't feel like I'm going to be in front of a king that's going to kill me right now. I don't feel the same level of awe. It's not about whether he would kill you or not, just that sense of awe and presence of the ability that he could, if he wanted, in a second to end me. In a second he could make me the richest person in the world. In a second could just end my life on the spot. That comes with a certain presence, a certain cloud of awe that comes with that person, with that being, with that king, with that God, with that spirit. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you know that life is on the line, for good or for bad, in your own eyes, so that gives you a sense of awe. So why is it that in this world we have so many fears? Social fears, internal fears, external fears. All from this world, and they're so real and they mean so much to us in our life. And then on top of all of that, there's this godly fear that we're meant to have and we're commanded from the Torah to have. Really, all of those external fears of this world that are not the fear of God, they're all coming in order to arouse the internal awareness and connection to God that we're meant to have. And it's a chesed of Hashem, it's a good kindness of Hashem that Hashem gave us all of these external fears. Hashem puts out his outstretched arm and he asks a person, please wake up. Here's something in your life. Use it as an opportunity to wake up, to connect to me, to see me, to have the presence of me in your life. And this is what it means. Ma Hashem Elokecha shoel me'imach. What is Hashem, your God, asking of you? Kim li'ira et Hashem, to have awe of Hashem. What does that mean? Ira pnimit, the internal awe. To have the internal awe of Hashem, to feel Him. והעדר ביראה פנימיות הוא כאשר מדבק את עצמו אל חי החיים ושם הוא העדר המציאות. So we said that every lack, every fear, right, is a lack of, or I'm a fear of, or that I'm losing out something. So where's the lack of, where's the fear, what are we losing out of when it comes to the fear of God? When we tap into that inner world, that inner realm where we have more God consciousness and Hashem is present in front of us, what are we losing? What's the lack in that realm of fear? That's the Eder HaMitziut, the lack of reality. Reality disappears at that moment. Because I'm clinging myself to the source of life, to the life of lives. When you don't have that awe, as ידע שכבר הוא נעדר מהחיים שכבר מת. When you don't have that, then you can know you're out of this world. You're not in this world. You've died already. You've ascended to a different place. When we don't have that inner awe, where the world can melt away and we're connected to Hashem, and Hashem's the only thing that matters, not the business meetings I have, not the expectations that I have from myself or from others, not my successes, not my failures, not how my house looks, what car I drive, whether I'm accepted by people or not. If I can't tap into the level of Hashem's lights, where all of the rest of the world disappears, so then, so to say, I'm not here in this world. I might as well be dead. If I don't have that, all I have is the fears of this world, and I can't ascend to something that's higher than that nullifies all of those fears, that I use all of those fears to get to the fear of Hashem, the awe of Hashem, to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is more powerful than anything else that I could be fearful of. So then, that's what it means, Reshaim b'chayim kvuim metim. People that go against the Torah, people that don't have levels of awe of Hashem, of Yirat Shamayim, of trying to bring Hashem into every facet of their life in a balanced way. So in their own lifetime, they're called dead. While they're walking around, they're called dead. Why? Because the Rasha is afraid of the police, he's afraid of the gangs, he's afraid of this one, that one that they're in competition with. Everything else is multiplicity. God is not there. The one nikuda, the one point of Yirat Shamayim is not there. The one fear that is above all fears is not there, so then every other fear is amplified. And what kind of life is that? It's already as if you're dead. If you don't have fears, like we said, right? If you don't have fears, as it goes even deeper, we're going to see how it goes deeper, but if you don't have the fear of God, you for sure have the rest of those fears. And if you don't have those fears, then, and not the fear of God, then what can we say about a person like that has no fear in this world, that has no awe in this world? It's dead of the dead. You're not afraid about anything, you're not worried about anything, you don't give thought to anything that's going on in this world. It's just all happy-go-lucky, everything's okay to do. Everything's fine and dandy. No sense of consciousness of a little bit of awe of anything in life. That's why a person doesn't have Yirat Shamayim. And this is how the question of the philosopher gets thrown out the window. You don't need a command on awe. Awe is a given in this world. People are afraid of everything. Left and right, we have fears all day long navigating and telling us how to go through life. If there's nearly everything that we work off in this world, it comes from a place of fear. Fear is an integral part of every facet of our life. Throughout all our days. You can try to play like you're Superman, you don't have fear. We all have it. And we all are affected by it immensely throughout our days. Not in so much necessarily it's always a negative thing. A person that doesn't want to get sick, so they eat in a healthy way. That's also coming from a place of fear. That it's okay, that's healthy. You don't run across the street because you're afraid of getting hit by a car. That's okay, that's healthy, but that's the reason you stopped at thing. There's a certain level there of fear and love of your life, right? You want to stay alive, that would be good, but that natural fear of a human being trying to protect itself as it's crossing the street, as it goes to prepare to eat. These things, wearing shoes when you walk in the streets. Why? Either fear of people are going to make fun of you if you don't, or fear of your feet getting stabbed or hurt or injured. All those things are normal. Fear affects everything in our life, and they can be very healthy. You don't need to command anybody to have fear, like the philosopher's saying. He's right. What is God asking of you? Just to have awe of God. Why then do we have a commandment of awe if we don't need a commandment? Since there is a natural level of awe in all creations, therefore a person, human being, needs a higher level, that by way of that external awe, we use it to arouse us to an internal awe of Hashem. After I know that Hashem's hand is extended to cause everything in my life, and Hashem sent me the calf to pull me over, Hashem did the scary thing. Hashem sent the rocket, and the intention was to arouse me. It was loving, an act of loving kindness from Hashem, to send me something physical that I understand in my basic framework of my body, to have fear. But from there to ascend beyond that, to have awe of Hashem. That's what it means. Ma Hashem sho'el me'imach. What is Hashem sho'el? Sho'el can also, it's like asking, and it can also be to borrow, so to say. Or so to say, you could say, correct me if anybody has a problem with what I'm about to say, this is coming from my heart right now, it just came. Sho'el, she'ilah is to borrow, right? Hashem, so to say, I'm saying this, is borrowing, meaning he's preparing these opportunities, but borrowing the natural fear that you're going to have down here to take it, to help you to get to a higher place. Let's take from this natural thing, borrow a little bit of that energy, snatch a little bit of that energy. Can we now elevate it to a higher level of awe? Bring Hashem into your life more. When you sit with your friends, you talk as if Hashem's there, not as if they're just the friends and Hashem walked out the room. That we respect our lives and ourselves and other people as if Hashem really is with us everywhere, because He is. It's just in our mind we have to get there. We have to get to that level of inner awe. If a person knows this love, this level of love, that Hashem sends us scary things sometimes just to arouse us to come to a deeper level, then you get to a level of love of Hashem. And you realize the love that Hashem has for you, how much mercy He has on you, that He gives you opportunities to arouse you throughout your day. Then what happens with that awe? It becomes love. The external love, the external awe that we have and fears in this world, when we realize that Hashem sent them to us, they transmute into love. I realized, wow, so I got pulled over because Hashem wanted me to think about Him. Okay, whatever, the ticket's fine, okay, come on. Really? So if you need to drive better, but like, in the end of the day, this scary event, this unfortunate event that's happening this unfortunate delay, whatever it is, this setback, this hardship, it's sent to me in order to make me think of my Creator a little bit more. Hashem is directly getting involved in my life and wants to have a connection with me. That's something that can arouse a lot of love, a lot more connection to Hashem, to be able to realize, I'm not alone here. Okay, it came from a not nice way. I would have loved for Hashem to send me an ice cream or something like, hey, I love you, here's a gift. Right? It doesn't have to be a ticket, it doesn't have to be something negative. But the truth is, like Rabbi Nachman says in Sichot Aran, in the 5th Sicha, Sichot Aran, Rabbi Nachman says that the amount of people that can start to serve Hashem from a pure place of love are very, very, very few. Very few. The majority of people, they come to Hashem by way of fear. Meaning something in their life startles them, happens to them, they lose something, they lose someone, they lose a job, they lose a relationship, and then they find God. Again, why? That's happening naturally without you even noticing. Meaning you had a hard breakup, and from that you found Tehillim, you found Reb Nachman's Torahs, and now you found Hashem. So you had a breakup, what was that? Ira. It's false fears, it's external fears of this world, natural fears of this world. You lost a person. That then usually introduces you to the love of Hashem in your life. To realize how much is Hashem there for you. And then from there you get to a higher level of awe afterwards. You realize, God forbid to not have this. God forbid to lose out on this. God forbid to disrespect and to do anything against a king that is so loving, that is so involved in every facet of my life and everybody else's life. God forbid to move away from the King of Kings for even a millisecond. But then what's that fear? I don't want to step away from the awe of Hashem. I don't want to step away from my mission of what I was sent here, because Hashem sent me to do it. Not because I'm going to get punished. Not because I'm losing. Not because I'm lacking. Because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose Hashem. Meaning that is what's meant to be. Hashem wants a world where I'm connected to Him. That, if that's not happening, that's against the will of Hashem. That I honor so much. How do you get there though? First you fear the natural things in your life and you're worried about yourself. When you connect that to realizing that Hashem sent those things in order to connect to you, then you start to tap into the love of Hashem. the love that Hashem has for you, the love you have for Him, for the Torah, for the Jews, for Eretz Yisrael. And then that takes you to a higher level when you start to realize who Hashem really is. Not really, because we'd never be able to know that. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is involved in everything in your life. Then you have awe on the level of, God forbid, to go against Hashem. Chas v'chalila, to go against the Torah, to do something against the will of Hashem. Not because I'm afraid to get punished. Because it's Hashem we're talking about. It's the King of Kings, the creator of the whole entire world. I want to honor Him and respect Him. From a place of love. So very quickly we move, once we have this consciousness, out of the egotistical side, which is a healthy thing, of my own fears, of my own failures, right? My own lack of not maybe succeeding. I want to connect to Hashem. I want to do what I have to do. I don't want to go to dark places once I die. I don't want to be with dark places in this world. I want to go to beautiful places. I want to be in beautiful places. You have to be selfish to get started. After that, realize that Hashem is behind everything and fall in love with Hashem. And then you'll get to the highest level where you have awe of Hashem from a place of love, from a place of realizing how powerful Hashem is. You want to respect Him with all of your might, and you're willing to self-sacrifice for that. If your intention is just to get rid of the external fears, then you won't be able to do anything with that. This is what the Torah says. You have to love Hashem with all of your heart. You have to have a complete heart. When the fear comes in your nefesh, meaning in your soul, in your life, and it comes in your mu'adecha, and it comes inside your possessions, it comes inside everything you have around you. When the fear comes into those places, love Hashem with all of your heart. You understand now the pasuk? A little bit more. And Israel, now what is Hashem asking of you? What's Hashem asking of you? To have awe of Hashem, meaning a higher level of awe. Not, I'm afraid to sin. I'm afraid to get punished of my sins. I don't want to distance from Hashem. I don't want to go against Hashem. Hashem's asking you to have that level of awe in all of your ways. And because of that, you're going to get to the love of Hashem. In all of your heart, in all of your nefesh, in all of your mu'adecha, all of your possessions, all of your heart, all of your soul. Anything you experience that comes up, natural fears, translate them and make sure that you understand that Hashem is there and He's asking you to feel this right now in order to get to a higher level, in order to get to a higher level of awe and connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is an extremely important message. Everything we're going through in life, if we're seeking out a deeper connection to Hashem, we get rid of all of the other problems in our life. If you're afraid of Hashem and Hashem alone, so then what else could scare you? Iranian missiles? You have a relationship with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have awe of Hashem. What else is going to scare you? And if anything else does scare you, it's only an opportunity to increase your awe of Hashem. It's only a way to bring that up more. So anti-Semitism that's going on throughout the US and throughout the world now, more and more. Things are getting scary. So then maybe that increases your ahavat Hashem, your love for Hashem, because you realize Hashem's protecting you wherever you go. And He's watching out for you in such a scary, crazy world. And then you have nothing to fear. Hashem is with you. When you get to that level, and then you ascend higher and you realize that it's all about having awe of Hashem, seeing Hashem in your life, meaning you watch your mouth from saying bad things, you guard your eyes, you guard your ears, you make sure that you're doing the right thing, investing in growing as a human being, being a better Jew in this world. Awe causes you to act a certain way, right? None of us would cross a highway, just crossing through the highway while it's in I-95, just cut across it. None of us would do that. Why? Because we know we have complete awareness, awe, that is the wrong thing to do. The more awe of Hashem we would have in our life, we would also not do things that are so detrimental and bad and harming to our health, our physical, spiritual, and emotional health. We would act much better we would do the right choices in life, make the right decisions in life. It all comes down to our awe. How much can I bring Hashem in my life? And like the first halacha in Shulchan Aruch says, Shiviti Hashem le'nigdi tamid. I have to place Hashem in front of me at all times. Meaning that when I'm with my friends and with the boys or the girls, that doesn't mean Hashem's not there. It doesn't mean I don't have to watch my mouth. When I lay down in my bed by myself in a room with no one else there, that doesn't mean God's not watching. And writing everything down, seeing every single thing that's happening. Not to be there to punish you and to cause fear, and no, to connect, to let you know, I'm here, from a place of love, but I'm here. And I'm also the king of the world. Avinu, I'm your father. Malkenu, I'm also a king though. I have infinite mercy, and I also need you to behave and do the right thing. Trying to get something done here. The more yirah we have in our life, from a place of love, not just from a place of, I don't want to go to hell, and I don't want to miss out, and I don't want to lack. It's still I. No, Hashem has a plan here. Hashem's the king of the world. Hashem sent me here with a proper intention to get things accomplished for Him, to reveal Him, to be connected to Him. Life becomes better. And then all the natural fears of this world. To get the vaccine, to not get the vaccine, 15-minute cities, big cities, car, no car, ozone layer, no ozone layer, the world getting hotter, is it getting colder? This politician, that politician, this job, that job, this shidduch, that shidduch, but I've known her for so long. Seder. Hashem's here. Hashem is here. The more we have Yirat Shamayim, the better life gets. It's that simple. It's that simple. We have Hashem in our life, we have everything. We don't, so then we have this problem, that problem, that problem, that problem. It's all going to be around. B'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. If you would like to hear more Torahs from the Baal Shem Tov and you are in New York or Miami, let us know. B'ezrat Hashem are coming September 7th to the 17th. 1 week in New York, then 1 week in Miami. We'd love to meet, love to see you. Love to talk more. B'ezrat Hashem. Yeshuot to all of Am Yisrael. B'ezrat Hashem.